welcome to the Cheerful Ghost Roundtable. The Cheerful Ghost Roundtable is an open discussion with people from the Cheerful Ghost community, which is basically us, about awesome stuff in video games, brought to you by the website cheerfulghost.com. So in every episode, we talk a little bit about what we've been playing and what we're drinking. Let's start out with White Boy Slim. White Boy Slim, what you playing and what you drinking?
So I'll start with what I'm drinking here. I'm drinking Jumping Cow. I don't know, it was on sale at Trader Joe's, so I bought some. It's not bad. It's an amber. Ambers are kind of hit or miss. I'd say this is probably like middle of the line. Not great, not bad. As for what I've been playing, really, I don't know. I got the urge to play through Final Fantasy Tactics again. So you can see I have my players
nice.
handy here.
That's nice.
So I've been playing through that obsessively again on my PSP here. But I can also tell you what I have not been playing. I have not been playing Borderlands 2 because everybody I play with got Fallout 4, and now they don't want to play with me anymore.
Yeah, I may have got that game. I don't know. Travis, what have you been playing?
The only thing I've been playing lately is Candy Crush Saga. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
No, I've been playing the hell out of Fallout 4. My Steam tells me I've been playing 33 hours. I don't think that's accurate, but
It's like a long time.
My current save is up at like 22, 23 hours, I think, and this game is a lot of fun. I'm assuming we're going to be talking more about that, so I'm going to stop now, but damn, that game is fun.
Yeah. So
I'm not bitter that everybody has it and I don't. Not at all. Not one bit.
Well, you can take that bitterness and you can focus it into Santa Claus. Do you think that like Santa Claus is going to like help you with that bitterness to turn those friends
there
upside
may be
down?
a reason that I have not bought it yet. The proximity to certain holidays is definitely a contributing factor. So here's hoping, Santa Claus.
Exactly. Hint, hint, fat guy. Hint, hint. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you want more believers, you throw down. It's like I'm gonna like strong arm Santa.
Batman.
Exactly. I think it's very well established that Santa Claus lives after. Can only exist if we believe. So if he doesn't give us cool shit, I don't believe, and then he just fails to exist. So that's pretty much how that works. We've got him.
Logic.
We've got him. Travis, you playing anything other than Fallout 4? Like anything?
I've kind of been making time for Fallout 4 because I've been really busy with a lot of mostly Flash animations lately. So no, that's pretty much all I've been playing for a while.
Right. So what Travis is talking about, he's getting his degree. He's going back. He's getting his degree in awesomology, which is an amazing degree.
Yes.
You didn't think it existed, but it does. And it was really funny the other day. I was like chatting with Travis, and I got Fallout 4 and StarCraft Legacy: The Void Collector's Edition at the same time when I went to Best Buy to pick it up. And then I texted him, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get it," and he got it, right? And we were talking about the game, and my wife Francesca's like, "You need to tell him that he needs to take care of his school lessons. He needs to do his homework first."
I love that.
You gotta do your homework, then you can go play.
Yeah,
so that was great. I love that.
Yeah. So I texted Travis, Francesca says, "Do your homework," and he said, "I will." It was great. It was awesome. So what I've been playing, a lot like Travis, is we both have really wanted to get to level 1,000 in Candy Crush. So I've basically been spending lots of money on boosters, and in-game gold. And in-game diamonds, buying a lot of in-game gold and diamonds to get the candy to go to the places that I want. And that's total bullshit. I've been playing Fallout 4. So it's really, really good. And it's interesting because I loved the hell out of Fallout 3, and I really see Fallout 4 as very similar to Fallout 3 in a lot of ways. Actually, I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you love Fallout 3, you're going to love this game. It's more of what you love. And they take what you love and they ratchet it up a bunch, So it's a really good game. We're going to be talking about some of the criticisms of the games later, and since Santa Claus is going to bring it for White Boy Slim, and I think Script is playing it right now. I think he picked it up on the PlayStation 4. We'll be probably dedicating an episode next year to the entire game where we talk about all of the game, and then we talk about spoilers and stuff like that. And by next year, I mean when we're all done with it next year. So that probably done enough with it to talk about it, which I don't know.
Like next November, maybe something like that.
I think it's true. I think that's true. People have said there's like.
Yeah, considering it took me like 2 years to finish Fallout 3, it may even need to be longer.
You don't actually finish Fallout games. They're done with you. You don't get done with them. They get done with you.
It's like the Elder Scrolls games. They just keep going. And it's not so much of when you're done with them. It's just that when you have decided you need to move on to something else.
Yeah, we're gonna allocate an episode to talking about it because it's very rare that all of us play the same game because we love games, but we're not playing all of the games because that's not our job. I wish it was our job. So if you want that to be our job, basically take your checking account and back it into the Cheerful Ghost checking account, and then that can be our jobs. And then we can review more games faster.
Donate to the tip jar.
Exactly, which we don't have, so I'll get one. But anyways. Everyone get accounts, and then we can do this as jobs. But no, it's a really solid game, and it's not a perfect game, but it's a really good one. And who doesn't love hanging out in a post-apocalyptic wasteland with your dog? It's super great. It's really great. And I've also been playing a few other games. Of course, Hearthstone, always going to play that. They just came out with the Adventure expansion, and that's really cool. I opened 20 packs recently of Goblins vs. Gnomes with my friend Dan. You can check that out on the website, the Cheerful Ghost Video Mini. In fact, Cheerful Ghost Video Minis we're going to do more of. I'm editing down a new Cheerful Ghost Video Mini where I unbox all my StarCraft 2 Collector's Edition boxes because you gotta if you got them. I mean, part of having that shit is bragging about it. And then I've been playing Legacy of the Void, but honestly, I haven't been playing as much Legacy of the Void as I want. It's really weird. You get two really great games at once. Which one do you play? I've been playing Fallout 4. Mostly, I've been playing that. But Legacy of the Void is so good. It's so good. They took what you love about StarCraft campaigns, and they've just made it so much better. It's so good. And I'm only 4 missions in. It's already fantastic. So really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that a lot. So, and what I'm drinking is some good old H2O, because apparently humans need to survive. So let's yay living.
Yeah, that's what we all do, it seems, except for Tim. Tim's
drinking in the cheer tables, or round tables is continued.
Yeah, I'm continuing with the whole I am a very boring person thing, and I have not been drinking at all. So, I'm living the dream, everybody. I'm not drinking at all, so for whatever reason.
How is that the dream? Come on, man.
I don't know. For whatever reason, I just honestly had decided that, you know what, let's see what it's like not drinking for a while. And after the wanting to kill everyone rage subsided, and, the cutting on myself, and then after I cleaned up all the blood and got back from the emergency room, I realized that not drinking was good.
Now, this isn't part of like a 12-step program or something, is it?
No, it was actually a one-step program, which just one day I'm like, hey, you haven't drank anything in a while. Let's just keep doing that for no reason. There's really no reason. I just want to do it. So basically I hate everyone more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that was like before even you stopped drinking,
It's true, but it's like hating people more. It's like you know how you drink and then like some like socially awkward situations are a little bit easier. Yeah, it's just kind of that way. Oh, we're getting our first question. Why aren't you a real man and drink, John? Well, that's a really good question. I don't believe I've ever claimed to be a real man. So that's on you, really. I've never claimed that. So I think that I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. All right, so one of the things I want to roll into is one of the topics we're going to talk about is occasionally gamers have reactions to things that I don't quite get exactly. One of them is it was a really big deal online, I guess, to some, and it was that some people felt that Fallout 4's graphics were terrible, or they weren't up to snuff, and that was a big deal. You know how gamers have a way of sort of making these things into a really big deal, and the rage train, and it kept on moving through on this one. And I just want to talk a little bit about this one. So, like, what do you guys make of the whole Fallout 4 graphics gate scenario? I mean, Travis, you played the game, so you can talk a little bit about the graphics. White Boy, you've definitely seen screenshots and videos, I'm sure.
Yes,
what do we make
I've
of this?
screenshots, and I can say that there were definite pixels there. And in this day and age, I would expect that pixels would be not there. I mean, come on, what year is this? Like 2012? We still have pixels on our screens? Come on, people.
Yeah, I definitely see the rage there. Yeah.
No, I've played it, like I said, for about 22, 23 hours, and I really don't see it. They're not like top of the line graphics, but Bethesda games never really have been, and honestly, they don't really need to be. I mean, you're dealing with this massive world, and I don't think that graphics have ever really been their focus, and I don't see that as a problem. The graphics are way better in this game than they were in Skyrim, which is saying something because Skyrim's a beautiful world, but Fallout 4, the graphics are more intense, but they're not super amazing. I don't see that as a problem. I don't think that's their priority. I don't think it really can be their priority with the massive world they're making, and I agree with their priorities.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with them not pushing like super top of the line graphics because then it means my PC will run it.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Not everyone has a Greg station at home, okay? Like, I have a PC that's a couple of years old, you know what I mean? And it's running one of the, GeForce, a really great GeForce card that's set up for low power consumption, which is really great. And Fallout 4, I can run between 30 and 60 frames per second. Now, I know that's slumming it on a Greg station, and I know lots of people want to start pushing 240 hertz every game, and I hat tip and I applaud you for living that dream. I just think that it's probably good to, like Travis said, have an engine where people can actually play this game, and it looks pretty damn good on a modern console. I don't think the game looks bad on. I think it looks really, really pretty. Although I do understand what some people are saying. I think that some of the textures are a little muddy in certain areas. And I get what they mean, and compared to Fallout 4 or Skyrim, it's not a quantum leap ahead. But one of the things you got to consider too is Bethesda isn't a magic factory of wizards that never eat. You know what I mean? Like, they got to pay for things. You know what I mean? So like, you got to consider what you're building and how to build it and how much this is going to cost and when we can actually launch this thing and what the team is capable of. For instance, like, you could build the next-gen game engine and you could pull like an id Software and be in development of Rage for 8 years. I guarantee you that financially impacted them in a negative way. In fact, John Carmack spoke out and said they probably should have released 2 games or 3 games in that time frame. They should have pulled in their ambition a little bit on that. And I agree with them. I think that probably would have been a good idea, although I did like Rage quite a bit. I think that people don't sort of always understand that incremental improvements in your games are actually a good thing, because, let's say that Bethesda rewrote their engine with something totally different. Well, they'd have to train all their new artists. They'd have to train all their developers on something totally different. Would just moving with the latest Unreal Tournament engine be able to create an open game like a Bethesda, like that we all love? Like, would it create other problems? It's not optimized for their scenarios and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of things worth considering there. Now, I know no one really cares about that. Like, no one cares about how much it takes or how much things cost or whatever. But
well, I could actually speak a bit about that. I read something recently where apparently somebody had asked them why they weren't using some id engines since they bought id. Why not use them?
Well, and they said, did, yeah.
Yeah, they said they really can't use that engine. It doesn't really work for what they're going for.
Yeah.
You have different engines for different purposes, and ids is very well suited for what they do.
Absolutely.
But it's not well suited for the massive open world RPG. Like, modifying it would take so much more effort than just upgrading the engine they've been using. And speaking about the engine upgrade, Bethesda is known for insanely buggy games, and so far I've had 2 crashes on this on Fallout 4. And I haven't had any weird bugs. I've had like a couple of ghouls that were jittering when they were dead because of weird physics issues. Those are the entire bugs that I've had. Like this game has kind of beaten their track of buggy games.
I agree. I think you're right. I think for me too, this game is the most pristine Bethesda launch game I played. Now I know that we're playing it on PC, and we played our other games on console before. But yeah, this is a really, really nice engine, and I don't really have a whole lot of problems with it in terms of like bugs or whatever specifically. But if they probably try to put this game on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, they'd probably have a little bit more issues that way.
Yeah.
However, some people are However, some people are getting some insane bugs on their PCs, and I don't sort of kind of feel bad about them. But you can't as someone who's published a game before and knows how many different kind of PC setups are out there. Wick and I did a really good job of testing the game. We tested it for a while. We were in beta for a bit. We tested a lot. We really wanted to create a bug-free experience, but there's so many different PCs out there. You just can't really do that. So yeah, I'm turning texting off on my phone because some of my friends are having a discussion. It's extremely distracting right now, which is fine. Keep talking, guys. I just won't be saying it for now. Yeah. So I don't think the graphics are. I think they're really good. They're good enough for me, and I think they're really, really pretty. So yeah.
Yeah, they look pretty good from all the screenshots and videos I've seen.
They are, and I'm not even pumping them at 100%, right? It's just what my PC can do, So, all right, well, we're going to be talking about Fallout 4 more probably in the next episode of the Cheerful Ghost Roundtable, and we're going to dedicate an episode to it in the future. But I just wanted to kind of talk about that because I think that I think they made a good choice there, and I think the game's really solid. I don't ever play the game, and I think, man, this game sucks. If only the graphics would be better, I'd really enjoy it more. I'm really enjoying the open world. The music is great. Einenzor did a really good job there. The gameplay's really fun, and I love exploring things. So it's really, really great. So
I think someone's saying sorry for their comment about you being a real man, and it's okay.
I didn't take any offense to not being a real man. That's okay. That's okay. Like I said, I don't think I am, so it's totally fine. All right, so this, guys, is really important to me. Star Wars, like, I got my shirt on, I got my Star Wars coat, jacket on. Tim's got his Star Wars shirt on. Tim's got his lightsaber.
Nice.
It's really important. Listen, guys, I got my Star Wars hat here. I got my Darth Vader. I look like a fucking idiot. Okay,
it doesn't really fit you, John. I think you've outgrown that hat.
Listen, I got my Yoda bobblehead, guys. I got a Yoda bobblehead. Okay. And I don't know what that means, actually, that I have a Yoda bobblehead, but I do. Star Wars Episode 7,
How about that action figure sitting on my desk?
That's something. You need to break that right now. Okay, so, not break it. I'm going to air quote the most important thing of the year, but it's really important. It's like Star Wars is like a part. It's like Star Wars is like a warm blanket. It's like an amazing cookie. It's like eating like that really great Thanksgiving pie. Star Wars, when I watch Empire and Yoda is like, do or do not, there is no you know what I mean? Like, I turn into a little child. It's amazing. I'm tear up, etc. It's all pathetic. I'm not a real man, etc., etc. But so I really want to talk about Star Wars. Did you guys know that 29 days until Star Wars? Like, holy smokes, 29 days. It's like it's gonna happen. I know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and insanely. I'm not gonna do the launch night, but I'm gonna see it very shortly after.
Yeah, I have kids and my wife works, so I can't see it opening night, but I am going to try and see it basically as soon as I possibly can, probably that opening weekend.
Yeah. So what about you, Trav? Did you say you're gonna see it?
Yeah, I'm gonna see it. I'm not gonna see it the first night or probably the few days afterwards because I hate massive crowds, but I'm going to be seeing it very soon after launch.
Travis just hates people. He's just trying to
Yeah,
save
stupid people. Who needs
Yeah,
it?
yeah, exactly. Well, I hate people too. Oh, we just got a question. I cannot see when you're thumbs up or thumbs downing what's happening in the video, so we can't see that. And hopefully it's all thumbs up, man. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Anyways, I'm going to be seeing it the day before the launch date for it, and I've already pre-ordered my tickets. And I sent out a email blast to all my friends locally in the area. I'm like, I'm going to see Star Wars. I'm going to this theater. Get your tickets. And eventually, originally it was just going to be me and my close friends. It was going to be me, Adam, Jeremy, blah, blah, blah. A few other people. Paul, and a few other people. And then maybe some people from work. And then I was like, okay, come with me. And then we realized, because this is like huge, they're opening the opening night is huge. They're going to be doing 2 different showings in our area. They're going to be doing a 7:30, 11, and 11:30 showing. And so I'm like, okay, cool. We don't have to do like 11. Let's do 7:30. I think we're doing 7:30, which is the non-3D showing. We want to see it just kind of in film or whatever. And when we move the time from 7:30 away from like more closer to midnight, like everyone's significant other wanted to come. So now one of my friends from work, Joe, and his wife is coming, and his 2 kids. And one of my friends shouted from at work, and his wife. And my friend Paul and his wife. And now my wife is coming. So, like, everyone is going, which is going to be amazing. I really hope all my other friends can go, too, because it's going to be really fun. I hope they bring their families, too. So, like, we're going the night before, and you guys are totally right with the whole, social anxiety being around too many people. My wife, Francesca, is the same, and the reason why she didn't want to go originally is because, well, there's going to be a zillion sweaty nerds there, and she doesn't really want to, and there's going to be a bunch of people there. I guess the nerds sweat doesn't really bother her too much because, me and everything, but because now everyone's, a lot of our friends are going, she's going to go. So, yeah, I definitely, because you can't recreate that, that experience of seeing a movie with fans, you know what I mean? I've seen movies with more of the less fan audience, and I think those can be an interesting experience in the theater. But seeing it with a bunch of people that are into it and super fans you can't ever replace it.
Depends on the fan base though, because like I've been to opening night movies for like when the prequel trilogy came out. I did it for all the Lord of the Rings ones. For several of the like Marvel or X-Men movies, and those were all great. But then I also went to like an opening night movie for Twilight with my wife one night.
Oh,
and
I feel so bad.
That's amazing. I wish I was there. I wish I could have seen that.
Okay, and my wife is like a Twilight fan, and even she was pissed off at the audience because they would not shut the hell up for the whole fucking movie.
What were Twihards doing during a Twilight?
They just
premiere,
every single time like a new character came on screen, everybody would just be like, "Oh! Oh!" And every time what's his face took his shirt off, they'd all lose their minds. And
okay.
Shut up! Come on.
Someone that's a member of Team Jacob, I can tell you that when his shirt comes off, my heart just is like, it starts to pitter pat. And I remember because you got to take one for the team. Francesca likes Twilight. I went to go see him in the theaters with her too, and you got to do that if you're good. But you got to take one for the team. And I remember one specifically, I said, okay, I am going to set a timer on my phone, and when Jacob's shirt comes off, we're going to know who wins. And I said his shirt's coming off within 5 minutes of the movie starting. It was within like 45 seconds. His shirt, just one scene, and he just rips it off and becomes a wolf. And the women in the audience are just like, ah! Which, it's kind of exciting. He's a good-looking dude. I can't say I disagree with him on that one. But, oh, man, his shirt comes off so fast in this movie.
Yeah.
No, I gotta say, I've only ever seen the Riff Tracks version of Twilight. I've never seen any of the movies after the first one. I kind of wish I was at one of those premieres with you, because that would have been hilarious, I think. I have no interest in the plot or anything, but just watching the people would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I saw the first and second movies in the theater with my wife. You know, I mean, she goes to a lot of movies with me. I'm fortunate enough that she likes a lot of the same movies that I do, you know, but nevertheless, there's a few that I've taken her to, and I was like, all right, you know, I'll take one for the team and I'll go with you to these. But after the first movie, before the second one, I told her that one condition is I have to be able to drink beforehand, so we have to go to
Good
like a bar
idea.
nearby or something.
Listen, relationships are about a give
It
and
was an
take.
improvement, yeah.
Yeah, thankfully Katie has no interest in Twilight. I'm immune to that.
That's you know, I will actually argue, and I've made some really unpopular sayings about certain kinds of movies in the round table, but I will say that New Moon is not a bad movie. It's not a bad one. Like, I would say that that was my favorite in the series because I would say it's not bad. Like, it's a well put together film. I would argue. It was interesting. You know, the other ones are like, dude, I don't know. I think it's part one with the creepy baby. What the hell was that? What the hell was creepy baby? That is the
I don't know, is
worst
that the last
CG.
one, or because I've
Oh.
seen I think 3 of the Twilight movies, but I haven't seen like the last one, or I don't know how many are they up to.
I don't know, too many. But like, but seriously, man, the movie with the creepy babe, that's the worst CGI ever. And people shit on movies for terrible CGI. That is the worst I have ever seen. It's just so bad. And it's the worst.
Oh,
And
Adam,
from
that's
the audience,
amazing.
we get you aren't allowed to have an opinion on movies, prequel lover, because it's been an established fact. And if anybody who's watched our previous roundtables know, John loves episode 1. You know,
Listen, that is an exaggeration of the truth, but not too far off the truth. I love you, Jar Jar Binks. I love you, Jar Jar Binks. I bow down and worship your Binks children. So I really do think this is a first where we're talking about Twilight. And as much as I love talking about Twilight and being on Team Jacob and Creepy Baby, which everyone needs to watch that movie just for Creepy Baby. I don't even remember which one it is. It's like second to last or the last one. I don't know, the one with the baby in it. The one where Edward has to bite the baby out of her stomach. That's like weird ass shit, man. I don't even want to talk about it. It's so weird. Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's weird ass stuff. It's the weirdest shit ever. That movie's so weird.
yeah, I must have missed that one.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, that's got Creepy Baby.
So
in it.
anyway,
All right,
back
to Star Wars. Exactly. So
one thing that's I'm actually really looking forward to is, I mean, you know, seeing it with fans and stuff is awesome, and that's part of the reason I want to go like on the opening weekend. I want to go see it when the people that are seeing it are the ones most excited. But one thing that's really, really special for me about this movie is that my oldest, Mia, is old enough to go to the movies with me, and she's a Star Wars fan.
oh, dude, that's awesome.
So we both get to see a Star Wars movie for the first time in a theater together.
That's
And
incredible.
That's
That's
going to be
incredible.
so much fun.
That is amazing. Yes.
Yeah, I think those are like the special, awesome moments in life where you can like, you know, like you love Star Wars, and then as bad as Episode 7 may be, and we'll talk about that later. It might be, it might not, it might be awesome. I don't know, but like. Kids will love it. I'm sure of it. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're gonna love Episode 7. You know what I mean? They're gonna love the droid. They're gonna love the characters. They're gonna, you know, it'll be great.
Oh yeah, she's a big fan of all the movies. Unfortunately, even the prequels. But you know, and then me and her, we've been going through the Clone Wars TV show on Netflix together, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to taking her.
You know, that's really interesting that you bring that up because as a person that loves Star Wars, I would like to like the prequels as well. I know you guys call me prequel lover. I really can't really watch those. It's really hard to watch those. I try to watch Phantom Menace. I'm just like, click. I just can't. It's really hard to watch that movie.
Don't lie. I know you love it.
It's the greatest. You found me. Yeah, it's so good.
Pod racing.
Exactly. Yippee! The best line in the movie. And all that other sort of like cartoons. I really wish I could like it. So I kind of, you know, envy kids that, you know, I'm sure they all love that stuff, which is great. So one of the questions that I had is, guys, I'm scared. I feel like this is a really safe place for us to talk and a really safe place for us to have some sort of shared group therapy. But guys, I'm really nervous. I've got fears. You guys got fears when we're walking into episode 7. I think one of the best things that we can do, and for that one viewer, if they have fears about episode 7, is for us to get it out on the table. Get the fears out there. So what are your fears? I think we need to talk about them. We need to work through them. If you need to cry, don't. Because no one wants to hear you cry. But if you could do faux crying, I think that would be fine. But like, what do you guys think? Like, what are you afraid of? Episode 7.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Perfect.
So you're afraid of my.
I totally understand where you're coming from. When they first announced, episode 7, when Disney bought the Lucasfilm and everything, of course I was excited that there was going to be a new Star Wars movie, but I was also like, I'm going to try and stay as cautiously optimistic about this, because I've been down this road before where I got all excited for a Star Wars movie and then was seriously let down. But I don't know. I've pretty much boarded full-on hype train here. Like I don't expect it to be like necessarily as good as the originals, but as long as it's just better than like the prequels, I think I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, I can agree with that. To be honest with you, and I might take over that prequel lover title from you, John.
Please take it from me. I don't love this.
If you have a couple of scenes where there are a couple of dudes fighting with lightsabers, I'm honestly gonna be happy. Like, that little kid inside of me can be happy with that, because like the Star Wars movies are kinda kid centric in that sense. Like you mentioned, all the kids are gonna love it. And it's going to be the old 30-year-old nerds like us laughing about how terrible this shit was because they didn't get this right or this right. But really, when it comes down to it...
Oh, and we're going to do that.
We're
going to pick it. Sure. We're going to pick it apart for fun, and then we're going to talk about really... And by the way, we're going to do a special Cheerful Ghost Roundtable episode where we, spoilerific, after the film, we talk about it. So expect us to pour over this film in a special episode for hours.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, but I mean, honestly, I'm kind of worried that there'll be another prequel trilogy. I think Abrams is probably better for this than Lucas was for when he was doing the prequel trilogy, but I think it's gonna be better. I'm afraid it won't be, but there's gonna be people fighting with lightsabers, and I'm gonna be a little kid. Somewhere inside of me, there's going to be a little kid cheering for it, so I'm going to be happy with it.
Cool. So it doesn't sound like you all have too many fears about it. So this is for me. So thank you, everyone.
I will bring up one thing that I'm also kind of afraid of. Is as thrilled as I am to see the original cast coming back.
Right.
They are quite a bit older than they were in the last time around.
Yeah, they are.
That can be fine, like depending on how the movie treats that.
Right.
Like, one of the things that was really like hard for me with that last Indiana Jones movie was, seeing one of my heroes so old still trying to be Indiana Jones and not pulling it off as well.
There were more problems with that movie than that, though.
It was hard, man.
I'm with Travis. There were more issues with Crystal Skull than Harrison Ford's
there was way more issues with that movie. But I'm just saying, like, that was one of them. Right.
And so Francesca and I got because I've been buying, because I love being me, which is I buy, we've been buying like Blu-ray packs of all these amazing films, and one of the Blu-ray packs we bought was Indiana Jones, and we watched all 4 of them in order. And I would honestly say that Crystal Skull is about I would give it a middle-of-the-road effort. I would say it's about a CC+ movie. It's not great. It's not one of the best ones, but I don't think it's as bad in hindsight as people make it out to be. Now, was it disappointing for a lot of fans? Yeah. do people talk about it as if it were prequel level stuff? It's a Spielberg movie. It's not that bad. It's just not great, and I don't think it rises to the heights of the others. And so it was a disappointment for many. But again, I'm not. I know you guys call me prequel lover. I'm not defending the movie. Well, I guess I am defending it, but I'm just saying that give it another shot. And look at it from. It's another Indiana Jones movie, but it's not the best one. But I don't think it's a bad one. I really don't. I don't think it's bad.
No,
I
it's
think
not
that
bad.
if you clip out them swinging from tree branches with monkeys and crap like that, it's a better movie. And then when you also kind of just think it's funny, like if you just take it as camp when he's getting rocketed in the fridge when he nukes the fridge, it's kind of funny. It's kind of campy. It's silly, you know. It's a callback to Back to the Future, what they were originally going to do with Back to the Future. It's just kind of nerd and kind of funny or whatever too. So.
And we have a question that we should address.
And we'll address this one before we get into my fears, but Adam said, I'm worried that there's going to be a con moment. That is to say, I'm worried that there might be some fan service that's too heavy-handed and takes me out of the moment. Other than that, I'm super excited. I think that's legitimate. I think that since Abrams brought us that con moment, which was so fan servicey that people didn't understand, it didn't even make sense in the like. Who the hell is Khan? No one knows. You had to have this old Spock to explain it. I think that's a legitimate. But hopefully JJ's learned from that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that?
Well, Roberto Orci is nowhere near this movie, which is a good thing. A lot of people blame him for the Into Darkness issues, and he's totally away from this. He was going to be doing
Orci and Kurtzman, right? They did the Star Trek movies.
Yeah. Kurtzman, I don't think he's attached to Star Wars, is he?
He's attached to Star Trek 3, not Star Wars. No, the two writers of Star Trek are J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan. May he live forever.
Yes, but yeah, I don't think Kurtzman was the problem. Like people seem to be blaming Orci with good reason for this, and he was going to be all over the third reboot Star Trek, and he's totally gone now because of. People think that it's because of what he did with Into Darkness, and it's probably a good point. Like, I thought it was a good movie, but it was just too fan servicey. Like the tribbles really had no place there. It was just like, let's throw these in. And yeah, I think that Abrams and everybody at Bad Robot have kind of learned their lesson from that. I don't think we're going to have any super heavy-handed stuff like that.
Yeah, and one thing also is, in watching interviews and reading stuff about J.J. Abrams, he's pretty much said that he's, not like a huge Star Trek fan. So he was approaching those movies kind of differently. So probably, he approached that a little bit different. But he's gone on record as saying that he is a huge Star Wars fan. So he's trying to approach that one, with a lot more reverence, and I think he's trying real hard not to screw it up. I don't think he's going to do anything like, ridiculously cheesy fan service kind of thing in there. Although he did mention that he thought about putting like a dead Jar Jar like in the background of a scene somewhere, just.
I'm going to be looking for that. I'm going to be looking for that.
I kind of hope he does.
Yeah, I hope he does that too, honestly. When I heard about that, I'm like, do it. Do it. Because I mean, so
like when they're like panning over the desert of, Jakku or whatever the planet's called, just in the background you see like a Gungan skeleton or something,
Right, or when the stormtroopers, because in all the trailers they're just like blowtorching the universe. That they make some Jar Jar, they make some Gungan bow down. They just torch him to death. I mean, that's kind of like dark, I guess. But that's actually really dark. Jesus. Anyways, so I hope they do that because I'm a terrible person. Yeah, hopefully we don't see that, and I think you're gonna get fan service. You're gonna get fan service in this movie. It's gonna happen because this is a reboot. This is a continuation. It's a reboot. It's continuing. So people want to. It's like I want more of the cookie. I want more of the Thanksgiving pie. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get Star Wars beats. in fact, this isn't really spoilerific, and it could totally be wrong, but some people have hypothesized that Episode 7 is going to be somewhat of a structural retelling of Episode 4, and I don't think that's ruins anything for anyone, and I also don't think that, like, if it's wrong, it's like that big of a deal. But because I think that sort of makes some sense, but it also is kind of in line with what J.J. Abrams kind of does, you know what I mean, with some of his films. Although, with what Adam said, I totally agree. I think Into Darkness, we didn't need Wrath of Khan 2.5. I don't think we needed it, you know what I mean? You could have put Khan in there in a really creative, in a different sort of fashion. That would have been fine. You didn't even need him, honestly. In fact, I thought when the whole Khan reveal was out, I don't think it really helped the movie. So, got another question. Random question: why are all the stormtroopers human? They're no longer clones. It seems like the Empire would have troops from the Empire.
I actually know the answer to this one. Now, I know the extended universe stuff is kind of not canon anymore, but in the expanded universe and stuff, it was pretty well established that the Empire is very xenophobic. So they're kind of racist towards other races that are not humans, or at least mostly look like humans. So other races aren't typically enlisted or get elevated to positions in the Empire, like from the get-go. So it's very rare to see an alien in the Empire because of that.
So one of the ways that I look at this, and it's not like, and yeah, they explain it in the extended universe, which Disney has wiped. So I don't know if that's the answer now, but I look at it in terms of, if you look at Jedi and you look at Empire, which are really good examples of the Rebel Alliance, Jedi being a really good example of the Rebel Alliance, you see a lot of like aliens, you see a lot of diversity, and it's kind of like. I agree. Tim is better than me. I can't disagree with you on that one. You see a lot of diversity there, and in the Empire you don't. You see conformity. You see everyone in the same suit. You see sort of like that. And I think that that's just tonally different, that the Rebel Alliance is sort of the good guys, and they sort of have this diverse sort of alien thing mix. But then there's also some negatives there. They have a bunch of ships that make little sense fighting together. You know what I mean? They have some really big ones and some small ones and stuff like that. But that's kind of how I look at it. But I wonder if this movie's going to address that at all. I wonder. So some of my fears. All right. I am afraid that this movie. Actually, they're pretty much what Adam voiced. I'm afraid this movie is going to be so much fan service, we're not really going to go into a new zone. It's going to be so similar to what we've seen that it's not really going to be a new movie. It's just going to be, everything we've experienced before. But it's a fine line. It's like, is it going to be all new? It's so new that I don't even recognize it as Star Wars? That would suck, right? It's not a Star Wars movie. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. Yet on the other hand, it could be so fan servicey and so like basically based on all the other movies that it just feels like it's something I didn't want, I wanted a continuation of the story, not the same old one I already got before. I think that's my biggest one, honestly. And then just goofy crap that just doesn't land for me, or just stuff that is just silly dumb, you know what I mean?
Like a new Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, I love the Star Wars humor. I love C-3PO. I love the I'd rather kiss a Wookiee jokes. Like, those are all great. I just hope they land. I really do. I just hope they land for the audience. I think the kids will love it. I don't know if I will necessarily.
I think it's pretty safe to say kids are probably going to love the movie.
Oh, yeah. It's space battles. It'll be great. They'll love it. So what do we really want this movie to be? Like, what are we looking for it to accomplish for us? Like, if it does these things, we're happy.
I kind of mentioned this earlier, but a couple of dudes lightsaber battling each other is going to make me happy.
JJ loves you, Travis, because your standards are like, want them lightsabers. He's like, dude, I got you covered.
Yeah. What I really want it to be is kind of a... I want it to be as good as 4, 5, and 6. I don't think that that's really a reasonable goal for them because those are kind of insanely amazing. But I guess more realistically, something that won't leave me disappointed like 1, 2, and 3 did.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring.
I just want to know Hayden Christensen's in this movie, you know?
I guarantee you he will not be. And since Travis, you brought it up, let's sort of bring in that question with the next question, which is how good do we think the movie's going to be? And like, what is our guess right now? Like, what movie can we compare it to? Like, it's going to be just as good as Citizen Kane or Episode 4. It'll probably be as good as like something like Gattaca or the new Jurassic World or the new Terminator reboot or whatever. So, anyways, we can bring that in as part of the other question.
You're saying the Citizen Kane and Episode 4 are on par? Because I haven't seen Citizen Kane in like 20 years, so I'm not really sure.
I'm not saying any of those movies are equal. I'm just using those as examples of movies you can compare it to. P.S. I saw Citizen Kane this year. It is incredible. It is.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
It holds up with almost any modern movie I've seen. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was really, really, really great.
Yeah, that's one that's on my bucket list I still need to see.
Yeah, check it out from your library. So for me, what I want the movie to be is a good Star Wars movie. I don't expect it to be great. I don't expect it to blow my mind. I don't expect to cry. I don't expect it to be Yoda amazing. I don't expect it to be because those scenes in Dagobah are referenced so much in pop culture. They really did change a lot of the ways that we look at things. Like the way you do or do not, there is no try. Like that is one of the most inspirational quotes around. Like it changed how I think about doing stuff. I don't expect the movie to get up there. Okay, I do not expect it to get Empire good because Empire is maybe one of the best movies ever made. So I don't expect it to go up there or Jaws or whatever. But I expect it to be a good Star Wars movie. And let's take recent reboots that I thought were pretty good but not awesome, which was the Terminator Genisys. That was pretty good. It's a solid movie. Thought it was pretty good. I can watch it again. It's kind of goofy, but it was pretty good. Thought it was pretty good. Jurassic World, a little bit better. It's total fan service. It's pretty much Jurassic Park fan service, the movie, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? And it's good. It's a good movie. It's a solid ride. So I'm kind of expecting it to be kind of around there, I think.
Yeah, I've heard that was like better than Jurassic Park 2 and 3, but still very much pales in comparison to the first one. I have yet to see it, but
yeah, it's not as good as Jurassic Park because again, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I went into Jurassic World with pretty low expectations. I wanted decent action with dinosaurs eating people. Basically.
I want to see dinosaurs eat a man.
Yeah, and it delivered on that. Like the acting was pretty good. The story was okay. There was just a bunch of cool dinosaurs doing cool dinosaur stuff, and I was pretty happy with that. That's all I really wanted from the movie, and it seriously delivered.
And it didn't insult your intelligence. It wasn't like Transformers level insulting, and it was pretty good. However, there were a lot of lines where I laughed out loud, and I don't think they meant to make it that campy. It's just so because it sort of goes into camp territory, which is great, and I laughed. I'm like, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. But I loved all the cheese. I got the dip with my chips. It was so good. But what do you want the movie to be? Like, what would you be happy with the movie being if you saw it?
I mean, like I said, if it ends up in quality-wise in between the prequels and the originals, I'm gonna consider that a win.
I hate you. Take that off your list. The prequels aren't even on. I reject that entirely. We're not saying it's between the prequel. We're not even talking about prequel quality. I think you need higher expectations. I'm sorry. That was a wrong answer.
I want to be able to like it and not feel embarrassed. How about that?
Awesome. Love it. Love it.
I was gonna say the exact same thing that you said, Tim, with between the prequels and the original, but
yeah.
Since John vetoed that, I'll go with your final answer.
I'm sorry, guys. I love open discussion, but I can't go there.
The originals, because, I've been watching those since I can remember anything, they're so ingrained in my childhood and, my, nerd culture as I grew up kind of thing, it's just so ingrained into me. I don't know if it's fair to try to compare anything to them, but I would like to not be embarrassed to like the new one.
Yeah, it would be really nice to be in the theater and be like, oh, this. And then you're like, oh, shit. We're going to be talking about this movie.
I'm hoping to not have that reaction. You know?
Right, you're like, ha, ha, na 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 na, na 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 na, pew pew pew, na 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 na. People are talking la 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 la, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? They just, so oh my god, because you're like, ha, ha, ha. And then people are like, brr, 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 and you're like, oh my god, kill me. Jar Jar Binks is more interesting than this shit. Yeah, that's not what I want.
I honestly don't think that's gonna happen though. Really, I think
that would be hard to accomplish.
Yeah, I think Abrams is in.
Makes a movie so bad, people are like, bring back Jar Jar. I don't know. That's kind of an accomplishment all of its own.
I think Abrams has more respect for the original trilogy than Lucas did. So I think we'll be okay.
I think that might be true. I don't know. I think Lucas respects it, but I think it is different. I think they look at it differently. That's for sure. All right, so. Okay, so I want to approach this topic delicately because I really hope it doesn't happen, but we need to prepare for the worst. I think that would be the good. If this film set is taken to be on par with The Phantom Menace, will you write off all future Star Wars films as banter poodoo? I'm sorry, I really try to do Jar Jar Binks really good. I am terrible at the impressions. But what if this movie is worse than that? Are you going to be excited for a future? Because they're doing like Star Wars movies every year for the next billion years. Like we're getting Phantom Menace this year. Next year we're getting Rogue One. After that we're getting Episode 8. After that, like some Han Solo movie we don't want. So I'm just, and then some Boba Fett movie that no one wants. After that, I'm pretty sure. So like, are we gonna be excited again? Are we gonna be like, no, you hurt me before. Like I've been hurt too many times. I've been hit too much. Like I can no more.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm like the victim of an abusive relationship here. It's probably gonna have to. These movies are gonna have to be pretty bad for me to not want to go see Star Wars in the theater.
Yeah, know? I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
And I mean, think about it. Of all the Star Wars movies we have right now, half of them suck. Like 50% of all Star Wars movies suck. And I'm still really excited for the next one.
Okay, so I'm going to read this next question that we just got in. I see why each of you know how so. Oh God, that's so. I can't even do this. Adam basically said, I see why you each are in your own house, so no one shoots John when he talks like Jar Jar. Yeah, I agree. That was really fucking terrible.
Apparently, you can't force choke someone through the internet here.
It's okay. I'll just set a belt up in my closet and just choke myself off with that. I think it also has the benefit of being hot too, but don't worry, I'll take care of it. Yeah.
That just took a turn for the weird.
Listen, don't you judge me. We'll let our viewers do that. And they all did. What about you, Travis? What if this movie is worse than The Phantom Menace? And don't think about me choking myself with a belt.
I'm going to try really hard not to think about that. I'll still go see movies in the theaters because, like I've said a few times so far, it's about the spectacle and being there and experiencing it. I'll keep seeing them a couple times at least. If we have consistently terrible movies, I'm going to stop eventually. But if The Force Awakens is terrible, I'll still give them a pass and go see a couple more. But they gotta improve the quality. If it's terrible, they gotta improve the quality after a couple. They're kind of getting the swing of things. So
I'm almost certain Disney will course correct if fans hate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because where they're going, I think this may be. So the biggest grossing film I think ever, which happened this year, was Jurassic World, right? Well, I can't think Disney doesn't want to go there. you know. And I already pre-ordered my tickets, as did a bunch of my friends already for the night before. I think this movie, just based on the fan response, is going to do more than Avatar. I think it's going to be the top-grossing movie of all time. At least that's my prediction. I know that's not a really hard prediction to make. Oh, the new Star Wars movie is going to make more money than anything.
Star Wars is going to make gobs of money.
I know. No, I think it's going to make more than any movie. I know that's not really brave or anything, but that's just my thought that it probably will. Will I go see it if it's... I think I'm going to have two... it's like moving through any tragedy. It's like stages of grief. So I think my first stage is like, F everything. I'm never going to spend a dime on this. I'm going to clutch my Blu-ray and suck my thumb and cry, and then do the belt thing after that. But I think that reference isn't stopping. By the way, it's going to continue. And then I'll be like, never again. And then I'll chill and realize that Gareth Edwards is the director for Rogue One, and it's a really different kind of movie. It seems like they're doing a really different kind of thing. It seems like they're doing like a spy movie almost. Because the idea of Rogue One is that it's pre-Episode 4, and it's the rebels that are going to steal the secret plans for the Death Star. And it's all about how they infiltrate the Empire, and it's kind of like a spy Mission Impossible movie. And if Disney can pull that off, where they do different tones for Star Wars, it's a Star Wars movie, but it's a different style, that sounds really interesting. So I'm definitely going to give the next movie a shot, even if this one stinks, because it's going to be so different, you know what I mean? Or it's supposed to be so different anywhere. Yeah. It sounds like it'll be different. So I think that'll be really interesting. Although I'm really not into a Boba Fett movie or a young Han and whatever movie. I don't think I really want any of that, although it could be great. Who knows? Like maybe they got Chris Pratt or something to do a young Han, and that's great. I don't know. I'm not really interested in that. I kind of like to do something different. But like the Rogue One thing, I think that's a really cool idea. Honestly, I think it's really cool. And Gareth Edwards did a really good job with the new Godzilla movie. I thought was pretty good. So looking forward to see what he's going to do there. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we lay this conversation to waste?
I just want to say that we've gone 57 minutes without mentioning the fact that Tim's wearing a Jane hat, and that's awesome.
We talked about it in the pregame show, but yeah, we haven't discussed it.
I was a little late to that.
Okay, yes. On a side note, I just realized that that's a Dalek on your shirt, so props to that.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So basically we're wearing all of our nerd gear.
Yeah.
So I think this is
our nerd pride on our sleeve here.
Oh, totally, absolutely. And I'm so excited for the new Star Wars movie, and really been enjoying Fallout 4. It was really, really great. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us in this episode of the Cheerful Ghost Roundtable. The Cheerful Ghost Roundtable is an open discussion with people from the Cheerful Ghost community about awesome stuff in video games and movies. Gotta add that in there. Brought to you by cheerfulghost.com. I want to thank everyone for joining us. And White Boy Slim, where can people find more of you online? Let's say they have a fever, and the prescription is cowbell, but they hit the cowbell, and then they think, well, I need more of you to help curb the fever. How do they get that?
Well, the best place to find me is on Twitter. You can find me at White Boy Slim. I haven't been super active on Cheerful Ghost, lately, which I apologize.
Boo.
I know. You can get caught up on my posts at cheerfulghost.com/whiteboyslim.
Travis, where can people find more of you online?
You can find me at cheerfulghost.com/Travis, and everything else is there, and that makes you go to Cheerful Ghost to find everything, so I'll stop there.
Awesome. People can find me at Cheerful Ghost because I've been posting a lot there. You can also find me at cheerfulghost/J.Dodson if you only want to read what I post, which why wouldn't you, anyways? You can also find me on Twitter at @JDodson, but I don't really post a whole lot there. I've been actually taking a social media break, which has been really good.
Oh God, Adam!
Oh my God, we have to read that. That is awesome. All right, what they're laughing at is Adam said, "I now know John's into choking himself while pod racing." I don't entirely get that, but it's awesome. I don't. It's really true. I was like, I'm pod racing, choking myself, and going yippee. It's why my wife cries a lot. basically. But you can find me on Twitter and Cheerful Ghost. And I want to thank everyone for joining us for this episode. We will, it's entirely possible that our next episode and our final episode of the season will be us discussing Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Sequence, you're going to get even more Star Wars next. Hey, actually, you guys want to do that next time? Just the next episode in the season on talking about Force Awakens?
Is that going to be before? That's going to be before the movie launches, isn't it?
No, because it comes out December 18th.
Oh.
Well, let's not bore everyone with this discussion, but anyway.
We'll plan this in the after show.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Good night, everyone.